You too. So like me, a lot of parents are going to be sending their kids to school today or have done so, those that are not delayed. The politicians, especially President Biden, has made it clear this is a priority. Get the kids to school no matter what. But doesn't doing so safely require testing? And with the delays and the shortages, what do you think is going to happen next?
Well, Sarah, I think you're going to see a really heterogeneous approach across the country. This is not a one-size-fits-all. The federal government has done what it can do when it comes to, say, improving ventilation in school districts across the country. The American Rescue Plan offered a certain amount of money to school districts. Whether that's actually been implemented has been a decision that's, frankly, been up to local and state officials. So there's only so much that the federal government can do here to actually make sure that there's accountability, that these resources are being utilized. But to your point, this is a different discussion for every parent. For all the parents out there, if you're hearing that masks are widely deployed in your school for everybody, regardless of vaccine status, if vaccines are required for adult staff and those that are eligible from a child standpoint, we're going to get there, not quite there yet, but in fall of 2022, ventilation updates, as mentioned, if those things are actually happening, fantastic. Test to stay where testing supply is available, then that's where you can be confident that your child will be safe. But if those things are not happening, that's a different conversation. That's where I would suggest we pause, make sure that those resources are in place before we resume in person.
What is the latest research and maybe your real-world experience as well, Dr. Gupta, on children and Omicron, whether it's as transmissible for them, whether they spread it to their households, and how sick they get?
Well, what we're finding, Sarah, is as we're seeing with adults, more children are frankly just testing positive. Week over week, since the Omicron surge has really taken foothold, since that Friday right after Thanksgiving, week over week, there's been a 50% rise week over week in children that are testing positive. What are we seeing, though, in terms of hospitalizations? As a share of that increased caseload, relatively few children are actually entering into hospitals. Again, that percentage is about 1 to 4% based on the state. No one has died. Very few are actually requiring ICU level care. So that's all really positive signs here. But the raw number here is, yes, more children are testing positive, more children are ending up in hospitals. So that's, of course, worrisome. And then I think for any parent out there, the question here is, well, we know COVID can cause mysterious long-term side effects potentially in younger people, especially kiddos. If you're a parent, you probably don't want your kid exposed in the first place. So that's the struggle here.